So this is live from the CGF Supply Chain Conference, and we just had a presentation by Eduard from Siemens. Eduard, thank you very much for your presentation. There was one key item that I took away, which is you said 80% of the impact on sustainability of a product, this happens and is basically built into product by design, 80% of the consequences.
Yeah, that's correct.
Can you elaborate on this, please?
Yeah, first of all, thanks so much for having us here. And yeah, that's true. That's something that maybe most of people doesn't know. But when you're designing a new product, a new part, there's a lot of decisions that are taken based on, as an example, the materials that are going to be used, how it's going to be packaged, the shape, the form, that have a lot of impact in sustainability because they have an impact on not just on the materials that are used, the materials that can be or cannot be recycled easily, but also on the shape and the package has the consequences on the transport and how the logistics are going to be for that product, not just for the first life, but also for the second life of the product. So there's a lot of information and there's a lot of decisions that have a really, really drastic impact on the part and the sustainability of that one.
You also gave a huge insight into the technologies you are using, and what was fascinating to me were the simulation capacities, what we saw in 3D. And you mentioned something which was, I can't remember the buzzword some years ago, but it was kind of silently mentioned, was the Siemens blockchain. So what are you doing with the blockchain exactly?
Yeah, well, blockchain is a technology that was used, by cyber currencies, by many things, but we use blockchain to store events, in a chain that can be violated. And what is interesting is how can we apply this to logistic processes. So the solution you've seen today, you've seen how are we tracking all events that happens on the life cycle of a product, starting from the supply chain upstream, from the fields, what we call from the farm to the fork, checking all the events that happens when that was an example of a potato chip box. You see all the potatoes, how they are harvested, how they are collected, how they are transported to the factory. And each one of these events, the weather conditions, has a translation in the blockchain, and we store it in the blockchain. So we control this blockchain backwards at the end of the day, and that's what customers get when they want to get information about the origin of the ingredients of that potato box, how was manufactured, if it was treated properly, and so on.
Oh, excellent. And for those who were not here today, what would be the three key takeaways that you would recommend people to?
Well, first, one thing that I loved about this event is the focus. So all the audience that is coming, they're really focused on supply chains. They're really the experts of the industry. So this means that the level of conversations you have are really interesting. The environment is also really good because that's everything is set to drive this type of conversations, this type of interactions. And also the takeaways, because that's not something that happens once. There's something that, as you have a year reproduction of these type of events, is a continuation of a process or a journey with your customers, your prospects, and so on. So that's a really interesting thing.
Thank you very much, and we hope to see you soon in one of our springboards. Thank you so much, Eduard.
Thanks so much.
Okay, goodbye. Goodbye from the Supply Chain Conference.